Today I'm going to show you some analysis and data that tells us that we need to be dumping our altcoins at the end of August. It's going to be extremely important that we nail the exit during the next few weeks because, mark my words, all the gains that altcoins give during the next few weeks will completely reset and you'll be left with nothing if you don't take profit. We've already seen this year how a full bear market can hit for altcoins within a span of a few weeks and Bitcoin can still be fine. That's why it's crucial you watch this video to the end. Before we start, nothing here is financial advice, and I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just going to get straight into it and share the analysis as to why late August is looking like the best time to exit this market. The first thing I need to show is leg timing analysis. This is what I use to accurately call the bottom back during the tariff FUD lows. I looked at how long the previous Bitcoin corrections of this cycle lasted, and then I adjusted it for the context of where we were in the cycle over here. And I pretty much nailed the bottom. If you remember, I was telling people that April to May onwards, the market would start doing really well. It's such a powerful thing to just look at the boom and bust patterns just in this cycle alone, because we really can use it to predict or anticipate what we need to do next. So in that case, you might be thinking, what does this cycle and this chart tell us about when we need to exit now? Okay, great question. Let's go back to the first leg of this cycle. If you were here, you'd remember we saw a massive momentum drop off for altcoins around the 150-day mark, and the leg ended around the 250-day mark. If we look at the leg after that, we again got a big correction around the 150-day mark. If you remember, this was the Bitcoin ETF sell the news correction, and the entire leg lasted 209 days. Then if we take a look at the leg after that, late 2024, we got a major correction around the 135-day mark, and then the leg was completely finished around day 167. This leg finished a bit earlier than the previous ones of this cycle, but you can attribute that to the Trump and Melania meme finishing the market and also the inauguration. But typically we are seeing a pattern here which is around day 135 to 150. We see a major drop in altcoins and in momentum. And if we take a look at where that will be now, that's looking like the end of August for a major correction. And you might think, oh, that's no big deal, I can handle the correction. The problem is the correction comes, but also the narratives also change in this final portion of the leg. So yes, we really do need to keep our eye out for dumping our altcoins here and also looking to rotate into new altcoins. I'll definitely be focused on that rotation into new altcoins in premium because that's where you can get the real 4 to 5x in a few weeks from this leg. But regardless, the timing does line up and suggest caution around late August. This on its own is not enough evidence for me to come out and make a video like this. I'd be a very bad investor if I took one data point and then based all my decisions off of that. No, I have more things that I need to show you, so you need to pay attention. The second thing that tells me that we may see a late August sell-off is the fact that the September FOMC meeting is the most likely one in which we'll get a rate cut. And you already know this cycle, the rate cut is the biggest narrative by far. People have been talking about this since January 2023. I can definitely expect August to really heat up and for the market to really rally ahead of that big narrative. But based on all my experience in crypto, major telegraphed narratives like this tend to get priced in around 2 to 3 weeks prior to the event, which again lines up with our late August sell period. I would definitely say this is something you need to pay attention to because this is one of those high attention events everyone's going to pay attention to. I can imagine a bunch of retail getting into the market in, say, mid-August and really FOMO driving the prices on everything higher because they've been fed the narrative that the rate cuts will come and then the market is going to skyrocket afterwards. So yes, now you can see how we've got on one side the timing analysis supporting a late August correction, and then we've also got a real tangible reason as to why the market's going to rally in August and then also sell off at the end of it. But that's not all. The third piece of evidence I want to share with you, and this isn't as strong as the other ones, but it's definitely worth mentioning. Many traders use this weekly cycle way of charting Bitcoin. I have seen it be useful over this cycle. Anyways, Bob says 2 to 4 weeks is when we can expect a 60-day cycle top, which again has confluence with that late August theory. So I'm beginning to think this is really quite credible now, because I saw this pattern and the rate cut narrative first, and then I also saw Bob tweeting about 4 weeks being a potential local top. So it's confluence from two different analysts that you're getting. I should also mention at this point, I'm not talking about a macro cycle top, I'm talking about a local top. And then the rally can continue after that correction for up to another 100 days, almost until the end of the year. With that being said, as I mentioned earlier, it's definitely worth paying attention to exit the market because the narratives will definitely shift. And the last thing you want is to bag hold weak underperformers during the final and most explosively profitable phase of the cycle. Again, we're going to focus on accumulating the best altcoins in premium during that late August correction. So be sure to join. Also, make sure you join just to see what I do with my portfolio around that time. It's going to be very useful for you to see exactly what I'm doing. I make alerts as soon as I make any moves. Now I've given you 3 reasons why late August could be a potential local top, but there's going to be one major reason which we have yet to see that's going to tell us whether or not we need to get out. And it's as simple as this. If in late August the prices have stayed flat and haven't really pumped, this entire analysis is invalidated. Why would I sell when the prices haven't even gone high? Every point I've made in this video is entirely dependent on prices rallying into the end of August. That's when it makes sense to take profit. Like Bob said, he expects 140k. Like I said, I expect the market to rally into the rate cuts. You only sell when the prices go up. So you don't need to worry until you start making a lot of money. What I will say though is that you need a proper exit strategy for August and this leg. I'm still working on that video. I'll definitely have it out by tomorrow. Make sure you subscribe. The reason it's taking so long is because it's going to be better than anything else any other YouTuber has posted regarding exit strategies. They post vague shit that's meant for the entire cycle. I keep it focused on this specific leg and I'm going to tailor it for specific coins. So make sure you subscribe for that. And also make sure you follow me on X as well, because I'll be posting in late August and keeping you updated on everything I talked about in this video. Okay, now I'm going to tell you my plan in terms of if I'll be selling in August, how I plan to buy back, and also my plans for the bear market. I made this tweet asking people if they still want a 10x this cycle. And the reason I said 10x and not another number is because I think that's the upper bound for gains left in this cycle. But before I continue with that, let me just add this caveat. Even though I'm about to share my strategy for compounding my portfolio and making multiples with you in just a couple of minutes, I also want to discuss this tweet. It's entirely possible that at the end of this year, for the final rally of this cycle, there are going to be opportunities like we had in 2021, where altcoins completely surprise everyone and give insane 10x plus gains. I'm becoming more open to this idea because if I think about it, for the last 2 years, since this cycle has begun, it's taught everyone that altcoins are dog shit. Think about the massive Bitcoin dominance rally, but what if right at the end, it completely flips the script and altcoins begin to take over and overshadow Bitcoin like they did in 2021? Some people are acting like it's impossible for this to happen. I'm dialing back my Bitcoin maximalism and I'm saying, you know what? There is a possibility for a real alt season to happen. And I'd be a fool to act like it's not possible at all. There's always that chance. But with that being said, here's what I'm doing with my portfolio. And I think you should think deeply about your own portfolio as I say this. First thing, I'm going to focus on exiting my altcoins during the first major local top. So end of August is a good candidate for that. I'm going to wait patiently for a few weeks for a severe decline in altcoins and some fear to kick in. And then I'm going to accumulate a new round of altcoins to hold for the rest of the year that I think can provide a fast 4 to 5x. Then I'm going to look to exit what could be the final leg and sit in cash for the bear market. The longer I look into the future, the more inaccurate I'm going to be. For example, it's entirely possible that even after the Q4 rally, the bear market is in it, and we just continue getting this cycle's typical behavior of Bitcoin makes a leg up, altcoins follow, Bitcoin stalls, and then altcoins die off, each of these mini cycles, we can make money. So we'll take it one step at a time. But yes, there's so much meat left on the bone for this cycle. But please, as I mentioned in my last video, be careful getting stuck holding this mid-curve altcoin trash. I think late August, you might get a really good chance to exit this stuff, and then you really need to look into starting crypto afresh and embracing new opportunities. I would not be surprised if the altcoins I mentioned in this video have permanently topped for this cycle. So if you want to see when I take profit during the next few weeks, and you also want to see what I accumulate during the fear that comes after that, make sure you join Premium. During the last bottom, I singled one of the best performers in the market with Syrup. I'll pick out the best coins and leave it up to you to decide what to do with them. Finally, I'm going to finish off this video by saying, remember, this August exit only makes sense if the prices pump in the first place. If there's no pump, why would you need to exit? The only reason you need to sell in crypto is when the prices go high, and they won't be able to sustain that price for a long time. That's all we need to look out for. All we need to do is buy low and sell high. I swear that's literally all I do in crypto. And this year, it's proven to be a very successful strategy. We're going to work on this channel in the next few months. So make sure you subscribe, and thank you for watching.